Hello everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Monster Sanctuary. When last we left off, we had completed the story, defeating the Mad Lord and saving the Sanctuary. Today is Cleanup Day. We'll be exploring one last area and clearing up the various post-game content. But first, a change of threads is in order. The face on this mask makes me think of early aughts internet creepypasta, but I've earned it. First off, back to the depths below Horizon Beach. We encounter the Vodinoi, now that we're actually prepared to fight the horrid thing. It's a rough fight, even on equal footing. The Vodinoi can attack with multiple different elements, but it's mostly interested in dealing out crit damage that leads to bleed. So even with a dedicated healer and a tank, we walk away with a whopping 2 stars. Then I get a bright idea. I think it's high time I brought back the Spectral Familiar. Aether's not done any frontline fighting for about half the game, so I get them geared out, my thinking being that a dedicated lightning damage dealer would be just what this team needs to... fucking... I decide to head to the magma chamber next, since apparently there's a bunch of little corners around here that we haven't checked out. Dropping in on Razes, he's been busy since we last saw him, and he's now got an... egg? Question mark? Cracking it open reveals a plague egg. Well, isn't that precious? Shock of all shocks, the plague egg is about handing out poison damage, and abusing stuff that's already been poisoned. It only really loses out on joining the team because it doesn't really have anything to properly synergize with the rest of the gang. No fun passives or anything like that. Next up, I actually oops into finding another super champion at the Sun Temple. The Diavola. It would theoretically make up the support role of a nature team. With the special passive Sprawl, it can hand out plenty of buffs and debuffs alike with every action. Not turn, action. As well as giving out bleed stacks to anything that dares attack it. It's not as rough as the Vodinoi to fight, but that friggin' restoring shield means I have a hard time cracking this proverbial nut. Continuing our exploration with the help of the Thanatos that we picked up back in the abandoned tower, we can finally reveal these invisible platforms and make it across. Where some sort of bird person is waiting for us. They open up the door, refuse to elaborate, and leave. Aether mirrors my thoughts perfectly, although they leave out my thoughts of potential treasure. Going down. Whew! Well, that was a long drop. Good thing the special video game water was here, otherwise I would have been in real trouble. Holy crap, this place is vast. Is this whole continent just hollow or something? There's mushrooms the size of buildings and there's straight up dinosaurs down here. Luck is on my side today and I get the Rathops egg instantly, with 3 different on-hit effects: Proliferate, Splatter, and an absolute boatload of health. Wait, this is good. No, wait, this is really good, actually. Fits in way better than a zombie pig. Welcome to the gang. Heading down to the caves. On this spot, Raven and Dragon clashed. The curse of ice was uttered by Dragon. The curse of time was cast in return. We will await their return. What the hell? These look like the same kind of monoliths that we saw from the very first area. I wonder what they're talking about. Oh, And there's that bird guy again. Following them up to this dark cave leads us to... Curse of Ice, I'm guessing. Also guessing this isn't the kind of ice we can just pickaxe our way through. Worth a go. Okay, so there's something in these caves that can get this guy out. Let's find it. Dragon had amassed an army to conquer the world by force. Opposite was Raven, with cunning on its side. We shall always follow Raven's example. I'm going to take that with a little grain of salt, history being written by the victors and all. Heading further down, we get some minor mechanic spoilers. See, we get an egg for a tar blob, which you can either build into a healer thanks to having Restore and Life Wave, you don't normally get both, or a more active debuffer with Bitumen Surge. However, its explorability is Tar Mount, which, predictably, lets us move faster through tar. So, guess we better be ready for that. More immediately, another super champion, and this one looks pretty cool. But weak to water, you're in for... Ow! My hubris! Jesus, it ended me in one turn. Those charge stacks are no joke. Okay, new plan. And even though it comes down to the final pixel, thankfully it didn't use Bitumen Surge again. That thing fucking hurts. So, Terradrial. It has a number of different ways you can build it out, but all of them are centred around using charge stacks to build up for a mighty haymaker. It just depends if you're using Volatile Shield or not. Making the way back, there's a little cubby back here with a book that flakes apart in my hand. But one has a mind of its own. The Journal of the Last World Tree Tender. World Tree. Does that have anything to do with the Tree of Evolution on the surface? Well, either way, whoever wrote this down has been here a long time. They were worried that with the death of their order, somebody might try to exploit or even destroy the World Tree. But hope springs eternal. They knew how to free whoever was trapped in that ice, they just didn't have the steam to do it. Now it falls to us. Find the feathers, save the guy. And we have one already. Now to just find the other two. A bit more exploration brings us to this absolute unit. That's a world tree if I've ever seen one. You can fit 4 trees of evolution in that thing. And Ether definitely finds it familiar. But at the top is another edifice. It all began with the Celestials. They planted and nurtured the World Tree. The World Tree nurtured us. Now it is our turn to tend to the World Tree. May it flourish until the end of time. So where the hell is everyone? How long has it been that there is zero sign of the old tenders beside one journal? Not one brick left atop another. That is concerning. You are entering hallowed ground. This is where it all began. This is where Raven and the other noble Celestials stood their ground again and again. We shall never forget their sacrifices. Sacrifices? I guess the other Celestials are long gone then. Continuing exploration finds us... the Amberligner. This bloatfly looking thing from Fallout. It's not much to write home about, middling support favouring Tether with some synergies with ancient and insect monsters, but more importantly, it has Spore Shroud, which means I can finally get past the Shadow Thorns. Towards the bottom of the area, we find those tar pits that I mentioned, and oh my god, this is rough going. Being in this stuff slows you to an absolute crawl, and the ASMR schlop noises just never stop, even in battles and menus. As someone who gets the heebie-jeebies from ASMR noises, whoever thought that was a good idea, I just want to talk, okay? Either way, the second Raven Feather is ours, just one more to go. And look at this cute little guy, the Cracker Turtle. It's not much to write home about in terms of its skills, being a support shielder of the hypothetical Ancient type team. Its explorability is dual mobility. While not as strong as improved swimming or improved levitate, it is very useful for accessing those awkward platforms that are just out of the water. Now, slowly moving higher, it's looking like we're about to link up somewhere back at the beach. We find the final celestial feather and another obelisk. Among the noble celestials were Raven, the all-knowing, Bear, the strong, Ox, the unyielding, Wolf, the fearsome, Stag, the kind, Eagle, the grandiose, Peacock, the clairvoyant, Lion, the just, Dolphin, the swift, Salamander, the ever-changing, Toad, the resourceful, Squirrel, the astonishing.
The loathsome dung-eater!
Sorry, couldn't resist. Praise them every day. Now, some of those names seem familiar. You got anything to add, Ether? We are getting more questions by the hour and a net zero on answers. But this does confirm my history being written by the victor's theory, since the celestial dragon is noted by its absence on that list. But, assuming I'm right about the celestials and spectrals being linked, that still leaves us 8 unaccounted for. So where the hell are they all? Again, there's plenty of evidence of the spectrals being around, but nothing about the celestials. Has it really been so long that these stones are the only things left? Well, if anybody knows, it'll be the guy in the ice. With all 3 feathers in our possession, we can head back and hand them over to the burb. Welcome back to life, mate. There's lots to get caught up on. Oi, standing right here. Man, this big boss looking dude is rude. Whatever, guy seems to know a lot about what's going on here, so I'm not going to call him out just yet. But whatever he does know, he's not telling me just yet. Also, I like the touch that this guy calls it a fight, since he comes from a time before the rules of Keeper Duels were formalised. Mr. The Wanderer here has brought in the Bird Squad. You may remember back in episode 9 I pondered why you would ever build a Bird Squad. Well, Wanderer has done nothing to make me change my mind. The most dangerous thing he has on his team is Silvero, since Aerial Striker does a lot of damage on its own, and Rathops is weak to Wind Element. One lucky magic pixel is all the ground the Wanderer manages to get before the frost peels him apart. The future's now, old man. Even in the face of my brilliant tactical mind, this old dick keeps talking around me. But at least he's honourable and regales us with the creation myth of this world. My theory was right. The Spectrals used to be the Celestials. They planted the World Tree and brought life to the land. On a different world, Raven, all sneaky-like, stole a seed from that tree and brought it here. Plants, animals, monsters and humans all evolved from the tree. The order of the World Tree Tenders rose and fell, the order falling apart without Wanderer's leadership. That ties into the journal we found earlier, as the last of the Tenders sealed this area off, geographical drift having opened it up only recently. But right now we've got bigger problems. Turns out those shadow vines we've been seeing are not meant to be there. They're the result of something chewing on the roots of the World Tree. Wanderer's going to heal the body while we head below to prevent any further damage. And he gives us an egg for a Bard to help. Bard is the most supportingest support you can get, with numerous combo passives, multi-might, multi-glory, and a unique variant of Restore. It may not deal much damage, but by gum it just does not need to. So we go down, and down, and down, and beneath the water table, where we come face to face with the final adversary. We've come a real long way. We've learned a lot. We've laid low gods and kings alike. So let's show this glorified lizard who's boss! Not even a scratch. Now we finally complete our Dragon Lord team. Dracomare makes a kind of leader position for that gang, able to share buffs around, gaining more buffs every time one is applied, healing while applying debuffs, and is no slouch in the damage department either. We return to Wanderer with news of our resounding success, and he's finally ready to give us the full story of what happened here. As seems to be tradition for dragons, the Celestial Dragon decided that the world was doomed to chaos if they weren't in charge, so clearly the only solution was to mass an army and try to wipe out the other Celestials. Raven managed to drive the dragon back by sealing them outside of time. That's how you do it. However, this came at great cost, as Raven died in the attempt. But Dragon might still come back, so we need to prepare. And I know just how to do it. There's still plenty of champion monsters to take on. The first is Griffinix, back in the Magma Chamber. Griffinix is an absolute beast. Equal parts damage, tank, debuff, buff, and a free revive for good measure. It's a powerful addition to any team, but might actually make the Bird Squad halfway decent with its special passive. Next up is back to the dungeon, where we're going to check out that weird room from last time. And of all the people to run into, it's Trevorzan. How's it going? He says he's been going around looking for demonic influence, which is brave, and he's found an Azarak, a demon dedicated to destroying knowledge of other worlds. He claims it attacked him because he has a tome of Eldritch Lore on him. Not to victim blame, mate, but I think you kind of asked for that one. He gives me the book, wishes me good luck, and resolves to hide out where it's safe. Approaching the middle of the room spawns the beast, and it's hostile on sight. The Azarak is a more technical flavour of support, favouring blind mostly, but able to hand out plenty of armour breaks and sidekick. It's also bonkers levels of tanky just on its own. 2 attempts, and even then it's narrow. As our reward, Trevorzan tells us where to find the final champion. All the way back at the top of the mystical workshop, and setting the clock to 11:05, opens a portal and... Oh, this is spooky. Okay, I should point out I didn't edit the audio here. This place is just silent. Behold, Vertrag, master of this realm and weak to neutral damage. Wait, that means... so, that means he's weak to the goblins. Who would win? An eldritch creature from beyond the veil of time and space, or one little guy with a whooping stick? Okay, serious face now. Vertrag is a ridiculous buffer, focused around providing age stacks, making those stacks better, and generally cranking magic damage out the roof. Shame he doesn't do much on his own, though. And that gives us the rank of Master. I've defeated every champion in the game. It's been a hell of a journey, but there's still a few more things left to do, one of which is to dress for the job. Hell yes. Now, for the final challenge.
Welcome to the stage of history.
Hidden in the magma chamber is the Hall of Heroes, a gauntlet of extremely difficult keeper duels. A few rules before we begin. I'm not going to spend all night working on beating every last one, because some of these require bespoke counter-pick teams to beat. I'm just going to do what I can with what I have. The one free man, Keeper of the Wolf, Keeper Master, notable member of the Velez bloodline. Not to break it to you, mate, but that ain't a wolf. For a first round, this is pretty brutal, mostly because of Setsune handing out so much bleed and repeatedly stealing all my goddamn buffs. Look at that! Rathops gets half his health wiped out with one tick. In the second attempt, Brain Boy gets taken from 100 to 0. Jesus. The unforgettable. He who bested the and found the. Mystery Man here has a strange team. I'm not quite sure what the strategy is. I think it's stall. Either way, it's working. Just need to kill the stupid Drakenov. Stop with the magic pixel. It's a slugging fest with more than a few close calls, but eventually I do take victory. Barakat the Mighty. He who hugged a Minotaur to his bare chest. Now that's a way to be remembered. This fight was actually something of an accidental counter-pick. I'm able to remove Thanatos and Asura within the first turn, leaving only the Katzerker as any real threat. Victory in short order. Kaiser, who gave his life so that his loved ones might keep theirs. 6 Spectres. This is what I mean about needing bespoke counter-picks. This fight is a bold-faced magic DPS check. Poor Emps does his just absolute best, but cannot keep up with the amount of poison and flame damage this team puts out. With my 2 main magic dealers down, I don't stand a chance, but I do come close. Mahdi Al-Mazouk, who saw the potential in all things. This team's kinda cute. It's a fairly plain set of starter monsters, but with all the dials turned all the way up. I actually had a similar team to this before I discovered my love of chill damage. Naturally, I don't learn my lesson on focusing down single targets, and we take a few bad hits early on. But once the Spectre goes down, it's just a matter of time. Also, have I mentioned how much I hate dexterity? Elendel, the Troll Keeper. He who discovered Elendel's gold and saved the trolls. It's mostly trolls, shocker. But man oh man, this fight just would not end. That fucking Karaglow just kept rising the absolute red line and bringing everyone back to full every time. I'm having flashbacks to playing against control decks in Magic the Gathering. If you want to play single player, just play single player. Don't impose yourself on other people. Sorry, bit of a raw nerve. Locke and his wolf, Knight, pack leader of the wolves. Judge, I think there's something wrong with my opponent's deck list. This guy probably had the counterist pick to my team. Flat burst damage and an absurd ability to heal. I barely make a dent in this guy, so there's not much to say. John Schmidt. He tried to see the best of others, even the most fearsome of monsters. Man, did I think I had this one in the bag. 3 Crackle Knights, all weak to water damage. But when they're constantly pouring out protection buffs, and my team is mostly made of glass cannons, weak to electric damage, the tables turn very suddenly. Nton, eminent monster scholar and author of the Monster Journal. Sporting a team based around escalating age stacks, it reaches critical mass pretty quickly, and if their DPS wasn't so absurdly high, the goblins might have stood half a chance. Dark. When things were bad, we could always rely on dark humour. A Dragon Lord team, which means Drakenov must die. But, like any small child who's on the verge of losing, he just decides that taking damage is for big smelly doo-doo heads, and simply opts to not die. I would do win the fight, but I feel like the Drakenov isn't going to have learned anything from the experience. Velvet Melody. He lived with a song on his lips, a friend by his side, and a burden in his heart. Huh! And the statue has a key. Well, there's only one place that can go, but first things first, Haunt Squad! I predicted this was going to end miserably for them, but it merely ends badly. Even with the damage advantage, having 6 healers at once does make matters tricky. Now, let's see where that key goes. There's only one door in the magma chamber I haven't opened yet, and inside is... a talking puppy. And it's looking for its master, a man who likes songs somewhere nearby. Ah, well, I hate to break it to you, but your master's probably long... Oh. Okay, let's just take that back to the statue. It's not a brain melter to figure out which. I am both spooked and a little bit sad. Samura, the most miraculous of all blobs. Naturally, it's the Blob Squad again. And just like last time, it's hard work, but I am making steady progress right up until... Cool. Professor Knox. One fateful day, he forgot to close the lab door on his monstrous creations. It's a monster mash. And this one firmly gives me a taste of my own medicine. Look at this bleed stack, holy shit! I lose half my health in one hit and barely make a scratch in return. Keeper Master Verdestrom, the only keeper to understand the Darnation's true nature. Why won't you die? The team. Another one that I need a specific build to take on because, oh my god, they just resist everything! Lieutenant Spanky, who made his enemies afraid to face him on the battlefield. Ah, a fellow cultured damage over time enjoyer. His team is just a bit better balanced than mine, so he's able to resist my damage type and spec a little harder into bleed. Fitting to his name, I get spanked. Sersh, Grand Architect of the Monster Sanctuary. Buffs, buffs, and more buffs. And some I didn't even know existed. How is this guy gaining shield from me hitting him? Genuinely, I could not tell you how I won this fight in the end. I think you can actually see me give up about halfway through, and then suddenly it's in my favour. No idea. Marder, the monster enthusiast. A strange monster lover who would often ramble about the creature's beauty. Hey, guess what? I learned my lesson. Karaglow, die! And then Brutus punches my entire body off. I do manage to take the Brutus down too, but then once again the enemy team just decides that taking damage is cringe. Lunate, caretaker of the World Tree and all who grew on the world below. A creature feature this time, if only I had a little more flame damage. And if only the game didn't decide to take its ball and go home. I'm not bitter, I'm not owned. Isabel and Alexa, always looking for new paths to uncover. The Fish Gang this time. And I want to talk game design a moment. Most of what people consider fair game design is actually just massively weighted in the player's favour. And let me tell you, being subjected to the stuff I'm doing to other people does not feel good. Nilam Nevitz brought music to the Sanctuary, cared for the lost and the neglected members of the Sanctuary. I believe setups like this are known as solitaire decks in card game circles, because your opponent would really much rather be playing by themselves. You know, me getting like this is the reason I don't play competitive games anymore. Conan the Librarian, friend and mentor to new and veteran keepers alike. Much more of a technical team than I thought a big guy like this would have, but that's the very trap I fall into. This guy's got some hidden DPS. Rilvanar, a lonely man who learnt from an Ascendant how to bridge the divide between Keeper and Monster. Alright, I'm starting to notice kind of a pattern here. I'm clearly very vulnerable to buff-heavy teams, because once again this dexterity nonsense means I get nowhere. Kill the Setsune though. Worth. Mal Ina, merchant, advisor of kings, rebel. A trickster with many faces and different lives, and her cat. Set up, knock down. One fatal cut is all it takes and my whole team is out for the count. Since when were Cat Zerkers so good? Faynissa, the Sanctuary's foremost etymologist who amassed a collection of over 2,500 books. You know, when I was scripting this I was tempted to say something like, finally someone playing the same game as me. but I have a funny feeling I'm only saying that because I won. It wasn't by much though. The Magma Pillar does a good job saturating the team with burn stacks that Emps just can't keep up with, and the Terradryle does make me panic, but some lucky proliferate proc and just spamming out Ice Spear volley brings me victory. Yuki, the Assassin. Master Assassin who was fascinated by the elegant fighting style of the Setsune and the Katzerker. Oh no. Okay, so what I'm learning here is that I need to get a Katzerker and stat. That bleed is untenable, and the Setsune making sure I can't hit back seals the deal. See, Nightmare can knock off enemy buffs, but only if it hits, and which buff gets knocked off is random, and I swear it's weighted to remove dexterity buffs last. The final score is 7-18. Honestly, I'm happy I even got one victory. I may hold the rank of Keeper Master, but I've clearly got a lot to learn, and this game's possible power level is a lot higher than I thought. But let's end on a high note. I've got one final enemy to face. Oh no, it's the Blob Squad. Oh boy.
Told you it would relate to the gags in your recorded setting.
Yeah. Ow. Let's just get rid of those. That's still a lot of debuffs. This could hurt.
The freaking 5 stacks of burn like I want to. That was the benefit of having Tarball, is I can get up to like 5 or 6 stacks of burn.
Well, you'd still fucking white Tacklet. Jesus.
Pride is the good swing in, honestly, because it's kind of a
Yeah, I can see that.
not right. It's not the one I grabbed PvP. Fully fashioned myself.
Oh, wow. In one turn it's got full shield. Jesus.
Blob Synergy kicks ass.
Yeah.
I don't even have chainsaw now.
That's a lot of dodge. You'd love to see it. Oh god. Jesus. I don't think I have anything here. Oh, legit, I can't even...
I was not expecting this team to be this powerful.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was doing the Hall of Heroes, is that this team is strong, but they're very brittle. Like, if I get counterpicked even a little, I can fall very quickly. Jeez. Don't worry, even if I just get like completely rinsed, I have some ideas on... Oh boy! Sweet mother of bugs, okay.
Also, I don't know if you can see the nicknames.
I cannot.
But, okay. Oculus is named Penny. RGP is named Peter. Spinner is Nicholas.
Uh-huh.
Because Spider-Man Noir is just Peter Parker, but is played by Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Acro is,
the lady's alchemist robe. Such a terrifying angry face on it.
Yep. Wait, did you get the Keeper Master robes? Is that what you've got on?
Yeah. So I do need to do the sacred portal, whatever it is, at some point. Oh yeah, also I discovered that the debuff system is good for more than just damage over time.
The sound
Yeah, I have Thunderstrike and Deep Freeze. Oh, sweet charge stacks. Ah, Magic Pixel. Magic Pixel.
I find it amusing that the team I built off the PvP wiki is actually a little more of an even match.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but the Slime team is weirdly brutal against my setup in particular.
The Slime team has theirs to have kind of work independently. Just the way they're set up. The first three I threw at you are the fire team, and then the ice slime.
Dang it.
I'm still this much that you got Ocklet and immediately fell in love with the Congeal team.
It works. I was like, there was just this moment of hang on, I can do something really unpleasant here. Some of them.
All those tether stacks.
I'm troubled by how many charge stacks are building up here. I feel like Penny's about to smack my head off.
Yeah, so the way this team is built and designed is it is it Penny has leadership.
Yeah.
Either Penny or Peter has leadership, which when they get a charge stack, it can spread to other members of the party.
Right.
And Peter has the light shift where when someone is
Yes, there we go. Finally taking some ground. Oof. God, the amount of magic bloody pixels I'm getting sometimes.
I named the Darnation Miguel because claws.
It's very fitting.
I wish you could turn off the timer.
Yeah, this is supposed to just be like a friendly game, so... There we go. What's the Lich's name? Ah. Hang on by just my absolute fingernails here. Oh my god! Just carpet bombed.
I gotta see if I can find the sound that Sid from Eminence of Shadow going, I am atomic.
I've never seen that.
Eminence of Shadow is awesome because it dials the Isekai power fantasy nonsense up to 11
Okay.
and plays it entirely straight, but the main character far from plays it straight. The main character's like, I'm just playing pretend.
Oh, I see. So he's having fun with it, but
He oopses into actually legit uncovering a cult controlling the kingdom behind the scenes. And he is convinced the entire time that it's, you know, it's all bullshit. He's just roleplay. And he doesn't know why these, like, hot women he saves with organization are all following him and playing like this cult. He thinks they're just playing along with his delusions.
okay.
Oh boy. Yeah. Also, this guy was always, like, fucking wanting to live the power fantasy even back in the real world.
something like something a bit like Konosuba, who's just like exploring. The kind of person who would be like, dang it, who would be really invested in being isekai'd is probably not the kind of person you want being the one to, you know, relying on to save the kingdom.
Don't unbalance things that much.
Oh boy. Okay. So let's do some setting up. Then
Tasty.
I love that attack. Because I can get like 40 hits on it on a good day. Which lets me do this. I know that the stealing debuffs is a thing, but every time I see it, it surprises me. And that's an old school.
Remember, I'm a nice kid, yeah?
Yeah, so am I.
Don't worry, you shouldn't necessarily be surprised. Congratulations, you've officially gotten rid of my ability to steal buffs.
Fine. That might be trouble. Oh dear, okay, wasn't expecting them to both go.
Got luckily down.
Yeah. Just gonna
Also, the that is a different direction.
Okay.
Don't know what the difference is.
Skill distribution, I assume?
Probably is. Like, skills are probably distributed
Oh my god. It all just went away. Megalodon is actually running out of mana. because he's got 3 chill stacks. So I'm barely regenerating anything. You need to go. Oh my god. None of that first one hit. It keeps amazing me, like, how much of a power discrepancy there is between the PvE of this game and the PvP. Like, the power ceiling is so much higher.
Again, this is much growth. And weirdly, like, doesn't perform as good in PvE. And again, my standards may be skewed. My definition of doesn't break 100 in Infinity Arena.
I said when I was doing the Hall of Heroes, it may say keep a master on my business cards, but I've clearly got so much more to learn. I'm hanging in there, but I'm not doing anything. Yeah, and then you just encapsulate it, it all comes back again. Okay. Okay. Forced to revive at last.
Oh, we've been going in long enough that we're getting infinity snaps.
Yeah, and what on earth was that bleed hit?
Yeah, bleed stacks out the ass.
Yeah, but just the fact that it all hit like that.
That's how bleed do. It does one chunk of damage based on how
close to the line can I bring this?
Sorry!
I felt like I was onto something there for a minute.
You're like, I've got him! He's dead! He's gone! And I'm like, revive.
Damn it, I nearly had you. Felt like I nearly had you.
Yeah. I believe the difference between Gwen and Reese's Pieces, no, they both have. Arachlich gets necromancy.
Tome of Fates. It reveals the secrets of the past, the present, and what may come to be. Most would think me fortunate to own such a book, but I can only use it in service to others. That is my curse. It wakes, tormenting me once more, feeding on the mysteries of this world, unraveling them into opportunity. But opportunity for whom?